evening, everyone, and welcome to the Haverhill Journal Live for Monday, July 20th, 2020. I'm Lindsay Paris, here with you tonight live from the HC Media Studios. HC Media is now bringing you the Haverhill Journal Live, Monday nights at 7 p.m., live streaming on Channel 22 in Haverhill, at haverhillcommunitytv.org, and on the HC Media Facebook page, and replaying at 5:30 p.m. and 9:30 p.m. every weekday night on Channel 22. Tonight, we're joined by Melissa Drake, museum educator for the Buttonwoods Museum, who is going to fill us in on the museum's special 2020 summer programs. And we have a special profile on Luis Santiago, the city's new Veterans Services Officer. But first, every week, Mayor Jim Fiorentini is joining us to give us the latest update on the pandemic's impact here in Haverhill. Mayor Fiorentini, thank you for being here.
Well, thanks very much for inviting me. Our numbers continue to be good in the city of Haverhill. We happen to have 4 new active cases today, but over the past few days, we've had several days in a row, 3 days in a row of no active cases. We haven't had any deaths for a while. Sad, 65 people have died from the pandemic. But everything is really leveled off in the city of Haverhill. And this didn't happen by accident. It happened because people in Haverhill struggle. They work. They socially distanced. They stayed home at great economic hardship to themselves and to their families. And when they went out, they wore their masks. And that's absolutely critical. We don't know if this will come back or not, but it's a pretty good bet. One of the 4 cases that we had a couple of days ago was somebody who had gone down to Florida, came back, tested positive. We have a very good contact tracing system now, and we tested the family member. Their significant other also tested positive, both immediately quarantined, of course. Although things are going well, viruses spread very fast. It only took 3 months for the virus to go from Wuhan, China, to Haverhill, Massachusetts. So we need to keep our guard up. But right now it's going well. Our restaurants are open. If any of you haven't been downtown, Melissa, if you haven't been downtown at night, we have the best restaurant zone north of the North End. It's fabulous. Great outdoor dining. We are the state leader in outdoor dining, and we have every reason to be proud of that. We're now preparing for the toughest thing we've done in my 17 years, and that's reopening schools. We'll be meeting with the superintendent, following the guidance of the State Department of Education, following their rules and regs. By the end of July, we're required to submit detailed plans on reopening with options on a plan on what we do if we reopen completely, a plan on what we do if it's a partial reopening, some kids in school and some kids remote, and a plan on what we do if it's completely remote. And at least at this time, with these numbers, I'm opposed to that. If I was on a conference call with Jeff Riley, the Commissioner of Education, and as he said, if we can't reopen here in Massachusetts, we can't reopen anywhere in the country. We have the lowest infection rate in the country. 1.5% of the tests are coming back as positive. Kids, thank God, are not at high risk, but all of the precautions need to be taken. But before we can reopen, we have to make certain we're doing it safely. We have to make certain that there's adequate PPEs for the teachers and all the students. We have to make certain that the schools are scrubbed down. We have to make certain that the kids are socially distanced, and when it's appropriate, wear masks. And the hardest thing we have to do is we have to come up with contingency plans. What do we do if a child gets sick? What do we do if a teacher gets sick? What do we do if there's a second wave? And what are the parameters? We can't make this up as we go along. We have to have set parameters in place. We'll be guided by the public health officials, by the state, by our own Board of Health, and by the excellent consultants that work with and for the school department. So that's where we are. It's going to be a very difficult task, but we're up for it and we're going to do it.
Thanks so much, Mayor Fiorentini. Would you recommend watching the school committee meeting on Thursday night? Will that be a topic of discussion at the meeting on Thursday?
Yes, it will be.
Okay.
Absolutely. And you've got 2 good people to interview next. Is Luis Santiago coming on, or you're just giving his
We
resume?
have Right, we have a package we did with him, so he's fantastic.
Oh,
Recently appointed by you. Yes.
well, I'm very proud of Luis, and that was a really tough choice. I had some great applicants to interview, and people. It was so good that people that would have been interviewed surely last time didn't get to be interviewed. A real tough choice, but Luis is going to be great. I'm very thrilled. And you have the new director, moderator, curator of the Buttonwoods Society. I look forward to meeting you and working with you.
Very good. Thank you so much, Mayor Fiorentini, for being here tonight.
Thanks. Great to talk to you. Bye bye now.
Stay up to date with the mayor by subscribing to his blog at jimfiorentini.wordpress.com or by reading his update posts at the Haverhill News page on Facebook. In early July, the city of Haverhill welcomed a new Veteran Services Officer. Mayor Fiorentini has appointed Luis Santiago, an Iraq War veteran and a graduate of Merrimack College, to the role, providing services for veterans in Haverhill and the Merrimack Valley. HC Media intern Will Tapley and I went down to meet Mr. Santiago and learn more about his experiences.
Hi, my name is Luis Santiago. I'm the Director of Veteran Services here in Haverhill, Mass. I'm actually from Lawrence, Massachusetts. I was an intern for the Lawrence Veteran Services Department. I graduated from Northern Essex with a business degree. I actually transferred over to Merrimack College, graduated with a master's in public affairs. I'm actually looking forward to working with the community here in Haverhill to earn the respect and honor our veterans for the work and the sacrifice that they've done. I'm an infantryman. I did my basic training out of Fort Benning, Georgia. I was transferred to Fort Carson, Colorado. We were attached to Fort Hood. We were part of a mechanized unit. I served in Iraq from 2003 to 2004. My brigade was part of the persons who actually captured Saddam Hussein. I did 4 years in the U.S. Army. When I came back from Iraq, I actually was on the other side of the spectrum. Not only was I a disabled veteran, but I understood what it took to actually go from being a veteran to becoming a civilian. I actually had a hard time converting over to the civilian life, but I actually understand what it is, the mentality and the physical capacity of a veteran who's coming back, and have that mentality myself to know what it is like to be a disabled veteran going through the VA and through the Veteran Services Program. I look forward to working with the community and actually giving them the best possible resources that are given by the actual community and by Chapter 115 benefits. I look to respectfully honor them in every which way possible.
You can visit Luis at his office at the Citizen Center Monday through Friday. Call for an appointment at 978-374-2388 or email lsantiago@cityofhaverhill.com. Museums have had to dream up new and creative ways of engaging with the public in the face of COVID-19. And the Buttonwoods Museum here in Haverhill is right at the forefront of that trend. Melissa Drake, museum educator at the Buttonwoods, is with us to talk more about how you can enjoy the museum's special activities this summer. Hi, Melissa. Welcome, and thanks for being here tonight.
Hi, Lindsay. Thanks for having me.
So first off, you have some new and innovative programs that are happening right now that the community can take advantage of this summer. So tell us more about your latest offerings.
So the museum has been participating in this wider museum initiative called Museum from Home. So while everyone has been stuck at home, you can still go to the museum from home. So all the programs that we've been developing and creating over the past few months are on our website, on our dedicated Museum from Home page. So even while we have started the initial stages of reopening and doing in-person programming again, we're going to be continue adding to that Museum from Home page as we realize that there are some people who aren't comfortable or aren't yet ready to do those in-person interactions. But as part of that first stage of doing in-person programs again, we're also doing outdoor guided tours, which we just started last week. These tours are limited to 10 people. Everyone is required to wear a mask for the duration of the tour, and they're entirely outdoors. We have about 7 different tours that we're going to be doing over the next few months. Every month we'll have about 4 outdoor tours that we'll be doing. A lot of them are exploring the various historic cemeteries in the area. There are many of them, so there's plenty of space to spread out and learn a little bit about history.
That sounds really fun. I would love to do that. I've done some of the tours of, the John Ward House and the Hunkin Shoe Shop, and it's really, really interesting and something you wouldn't expect to find right here in downtown Haverhill. But museums have had to make a huge shift in their programming because of COVID. So how did your team move forward to implement those changes over the past 4 months?
Yes, so it has been really challenging. A big part of what we do as museums is welcome people into our physical spaces, letting them feel that history around them. So not being able to access that really major resource of ours has been a big challenge. So a big thing that we've had to do is sort of look back at our programmatic history of things that we've offered over the years and find things that we can adapt and reuse in this current moment. We've also been experimenting with new formats that we haven't ever used before as a museum, using video to create video activities for kids, or doing live story times, or going out and doing our programs over video, which normally we would do in person. So we've definitely had to sort of learn on the go, and we're still working to continue more of that.
Cool. So now we're getting moving into the fall, and what sort of new programming might we look forward to at the Buttonwoods over the next few months?
So one thing I'm working on right now is firming up what our virtual field trips are going to look like. This is going to be great for having this available for schools in whatever format they return in the fall. But these field trips are also available to like scout groups and homeschool groups for booking as well. We'll also be doing some more like speaker or lecture type things for adult audiences as well.
Very cool. Will the museum be expected to reopen when the state does reach phase 4?
At phase 4, I would expect so. At this point, we're just sort of in the gradual progression towards reopening. Museums themselves could reopen with phase 3, so we saw that as our cue to like start the process. So we have a very small staff, so we want to make sure that we're maintaining safety and sanitation to the needed level at whatever stage of the process we're in. So it's going to be a gradual process. So sort of next steps for us will be doing outdoor programming on site at the museum, and then also reopening the visitor center at the museum for the Essex National Heritage Area.
Right, certainly wise to take it slowly at this point in time where everything is still rather uncertain, but I'm glad that outdoor programming is something that is coming up as well. Melissa, thank you so much. It's been wonderful having you on the show tonight.
Thank you so much, Lindsay.
Join Melissa for one or all of their outdoor tour series. To reserve a spot, you can call 978-374-4626 or email info@buttonwoods.org. You can also check the Buttonwoods Facebook page for the latest information. And that's our show for Monday, July 20th. Thanks so much for joining us tonight. And as always, keep watching HC Media for up-to-date information, public service announcements, series programs, and more. I'm Lindsay Paris, and have a great evening, everyone. Good night.